All Realme smartphone price in the Philippines as of September 2020. All updated. You're watching Realme price list for this month. If you want to watch the other video, you can visit my channel to watch this or click the link in the description. Visit the description box for more information and for the timestamps. Let's get started. Realme C Series. Realme C1 launched on November 2018 with an official price of 5,990 pesos for the 16GB of internal storage. Realme C1 2019 launched on January 2019 with an expected price of 5,900 pesos for the 32GB of internal storage. Realme C2 launched on April 2019 with the price of 4,990 pesos for the 16GB of storage and 5,990 pesos for the 32GB of internal storage. Realme C2 2020 launched on September 2019 with the price of 4,990 pesos for the 32GB of storage and 5,990 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage. Realme C3 launched in February 2020 with an official price of 5,990 pesos for the 32GB of internal storage. Realme C11 launched in July 2020 with an official price of 4,990 pesos for the 32GB of internal storage. Realme C12 launched in August 2020 with an official price of 5,990 pesos for the 32GB of internal storage. Realme C15 launched in August 2020 with the price of 6,490 pesos for the 3GB of RAM and 6,990 pesos for the 4GB of RAM. Realme Series. Realme Y launched in May 2018 with the price of 6,990 pesos for the 32GB of storage and 8,990 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage. Realme 2 launched in August 2018 with the price of 6,990 pesos for the 32GB of storage and 10,990 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage. Realme 2 Pro launched in September 2018 with the price of 9,990 pesos for the 4GB of RAM, 11,990 pesos for the 6GB of RAM, and 12,990 pesos for the 8GB of RAM. Realme 3 launched in March 2019 with the price of 6,990 pesos for the 32GB of storage and 7,990 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage. Realme 3 Pro launched in April 2019 with the price of 10,990 pesos for the 64GB of storage and 12,990 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme 3i launched in July 2019 with an expected price of 5,990 pesos for the 32GB of internal storage.
That's alright.
Realme 5 launched in August 2019 with the price of 6,990 pesos for the 32GB 7,990 pesos for the 64GB and 9,690 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme 5 Pro, launched in October 2019 with the price of 11,630 pesos for the 4GB of RAM, 12,990 pesos for the 8GB of RAM. Realme 5i, launched in January 2020 with the price of 6,490 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage. Realme 6, launched in May 2020 with the price of 11,990 pesos for the 4GB of RAM and 13,990 pesos for the 8GB of RAM. Realme 6 Pro, launched in May 2020 with an official price of 16,990 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme 6i, launched in May 2020 with the price of 7,990 pesos for the 64GB of storage and 9,990 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme 6s, launched in May 2020 with an expected price of 11,100 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage. Realme 7, launched in September 2020 with an expected price of 9,900 pesos for the 64GB and 11,200 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme 7 Pro, launched in September 2020 with an expected price of 13,200 pesos for the 64GB and 14,200 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme X Series, Realme X, launched in May 2019 with an expected price of 11,400 pesos for the 64GB of internal storage.
That's all right.
Realme XT, launched in October 2019 with an official price of 16,990 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme X2, launched in September 2019 with an expected price of 11,700 pesos for the 64GB of storage and 13,900 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme X2 Pro, launched in October 2019 with an expected price of 18,500 pesos for the 64GB of storage and 19,900 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme X3 Super Zoom, launched in July 2020 with an official price of 24,990 pesos for the 256GB of internal storage. Realme X7, launched in September 2020 with an expected price of 12,700 pesos for the 6GB of RAM and 17,000 pesos for the 8GB of RAM. Realme X7 Pro, launched in September 2020 with an expected price of 15,200 pesos for the 6GB of RAM and 17,700 pesos for the 8GB of RAM. Realme X50m 5G, launched in April 2020 with an expected price of 14,100 pesos with a storage of 256GB. Realme X50 5G, launched in January 2020 with an expected price of 18,300 pesos for the 128GB of storage and 21,900 pesos for the 256GB of internal storage. Realme X50 Pro 5G, launched in February 2020 with an expected price of 32,700 for the storage of 128GB and 36,600 for the 256GB of internal storage. Realme X50 Pro Player Edition, launched on May 2020 with an expected price of 19,100 pesos for the 6GB of RAM and 21,200 for the 8GB of RAM.
Oh, that's alright.
Realme V Series, Realme V3 5G, launched on September 2020 with an expected price of 7,000 pesos for the 64GB and 11,300 pesos for the 128GB of internal storage. Realme V5, launched in August 2020 with an expected price of 10,500 pesos for the 6GB of RAM and 13,300 pesos for the 8GB of RAM.